Let me get to Ezenwa Nwagwu. How did we get here? Because if you are going to tackle this matter, you have to, what were the factors that brought us this far from the very beginning? It didn't start like this 2 years ago, or almost 2 years ago when the governor was sworn in. You know, where did it all go wrong?
You know, asking me where it went wrong would mean that I know where they started. And you know, honestly, that the fact of the matter is that once you take away contest, once there is no contest in, you know, in a democratic situation, and then you have what you call give. I gave you the ticket. If you listen to conversations, it's always about give. There is no contest. So if you contest for it, you won it by yourself. Some of the conversations that we are having will not come up. So let's start from the beginning. The criminalization of aspiration, where people cannot, an environment where somebody cannot say, I want to be. You can't even wake up and say, I want to be. So if you are giving, then for me, it's a Game of Thrones. There are no victims. I don't know if you get. So Rivers, anytime you look at Rivers, you want to start with Governor the Judge and Peter Odili. Okay? How did he play? You always hear things like betrayal. And then you come down to Governor Odili Amechi. You hear the same kind of conversation. And then Wike Fubara, the same kind of. So when you look at that trajectory, where is the place of the ordinary Rivers person in this? Who has asked for the content of the betrayals? This series of betrayals. What is in it? So to ask me where it began, you have to find out what is it that these people, they control, the political economy of the control of the resources of the Rivers people is where I started. And somebody wants to be dominant, and somebody is saying, no, you know, you've played your role, why don't you leave? And then that contest, that fierce agitation for control of the resources of Rivers people is what is at play in my mind. And so how to resolve that is to go back to a situation in which we allow contests to happen in Rivers. This consensus of you be minister, you be ambassador, you be this, everything is shared, then let us arrange it. That arrangee will continue to produce the kind of outcome that you see in Rivers, in my view.
But is this peculiar to Rivers, though? Because, I mean, it takes someone with a little political head to look around. Is this peculiar to Rivers? If you say, I give, yes, look around. Have there been such givens in other places? Why don't we have the kind of conflicts that we have in Rivers today?
The greed that has held Rivers together is the resources. The adhesive holding that state together is the resources that is at play. In other places where they don't have that kind of resources, these issues cannot be as fierce as they are. So when you ask if there are places, in many places it's simmering. Ebonyi, for instance, you may be having Wifuru, Umahi, you know, simmering
neighboring states.
Yes.
Neighboring states.
You understand what I'm saying? But it is not as fierce because the resources to control is not as much as what you have in Rivers. So for me, it's the political economy of the management of the resources of that state manifesting as the problem of Rivers people. And until that is delineated and separated in terms of, so like I said, I've given you, and you are very familiar with that environment. Look at it from the beginning. Why has it been difficult for successors and predecessors to manage their relationship in a way that does not drag in, you know, the ordinary Rivers person? It is control of resources.